of this land, and he's none other than Dr. soon to be Dr. Reuben Kigame, a great gospel artist. Welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here.
Wonderful.
Yes.
It's nice to see you. Who is
you
Reuben?
You should have warned me that you look this nice.
Oh, thank you so much for the compliment.
Yeah, it's nice to be back to KBC. It's been a while.
Yes. You are a media person as well as a gospel artist. So where do we start?
And a social activist too.
I know that.
And a trained teacher. That you didn't know, right?
A trained teacher?
Yes, my first degree is a Bachelor of Education.
Wonderful.
Out of Kenyatta University. And so I wear many hats.
I know so.
Yeah, and I'm also a full-time parent and husband.
Yes.
People think that's a small task. It is a lifelong career.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
And you're also a great musician. You
yes,
play.
I love.
How many instruments do you play?
You know, I play the piano,
Yes.
what people now call the keyboard.
Keyboard,
I play the guitar. And my main instrument, believe you me or not, is actually the drum set. Even before I became a Christian, I was playing in a secular band. That's what I played.
Let's talk about your childhood,
Yes.
your growing up. You developed a certain impediment.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, it led to you being visibly impaired.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us about this?
Yeah, so at the age of 3, we were seated at the dinner table, and this is way back in Vihiga, in Bunyore. That's why I keep singing about sweet Bunyore. So we are having dinner, and I stretch out my hand, and you know, the ugali luya is so big you can't miss it. Huh? So I missed it though, and touched the side of the plate. And my mother goes, "What? Are you becoming blind?" What she didn't know is that I was actually becoming blind. And what has happened was that I developed cataracts in both eyes. And cataracts nowadays are very easy to treat. But at that time, the medical services were not anything to write home about. So I gradually lost how to see. The condition is called keratoconus. It affects your cornea, and sooner or later the communication between your brain and your eyes don't quite work. So I ended up being blind from age of 3.
Now let's talk about music, you know, because this is something that became a passion for you. I know. When did you start developing this? Was it when you were at Thika School for the Blind, or you know?
So I discovered that I had an inclination towards playing instruments and or singing a little bit more than just doing it in the choir. So I would form my small groups right from primary school, and we would do music. So I would say, in terms of active inclination and developing it into my life passion, that picked up especially in high school. Yeah.
Okay. And this was
the high school for the blind in Thika. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, when did you start commercial?
Actually, it's a friend who discovered me when I was doing music for the church, and said, you know, people need to hear this. You know, this is something more people should hear. So we went to a studio. He organized everything, paid for everything, and voila, I recorded my first album back in 1987. And ever since, it's been a journey. 2019, I was doing my 29th album.
Well, let's talk about the Music Copyright Society of Kenya. Do you think our gospel artists, or even just other secular artists, are well represented by these organizations? Now,
the thing about the collection of royalties is that the royalties are collected, yes.
Are you
the
paid?
problem is always the payment of royalties now to the musicians. When the royalties are paid, they are either paid late or every so often, once every year or once every 2 years. And then, on the other hand, you don't get what you think you actually are supposed to be paid.
Now, tell us, you have a wife, you have children. Have any of your children followed your path in music?
Almost all of them, actually. All my children sing, but there is my daughter, my second daughter called Shekina, that has written a lot of songs, and she has her own YouTube channel, Shekina Kigame. You know, she is also the one running the music school that I opened in Eldoret. She's also my main manager when it comes to the optics and also, you know, the marketing and distribution. Yeah, so she's in charge of a lot of that.
Now, you're running for president in 2022.
Yes, I am. Are you ready to vote for me?
Am I supposed to say it on air? I don't think so.
You don't have to.
I'll tell you later.
But I can tell you that I'm very passionate about where this country needs to be. I have lived through trouble. You've interviewed me about music.
Yes.
But going to school, Catherine, was hell. It was difficult. You know, just making it to where I am, I can tell you Kenyans go through a lot. Persons living with disability are hidden out there. Some of them chained in stables, you know, and some have never seen the outside of their compounds because they are believed to be a curse to the society. So I look at all that God has been to me. I look at you know, my understanding of where the common man is. I look at, you know, my ability to understand somebody who has no rent or who has no food. And I get appalled that 58 years after independence, somebody is hungry in Kenya when we have leaders. Those are not leaders. Those are not leaders, because this country is so blessed, and I am so bothered. I am bothered by where we are, especially because we become people without values. And my faith, as well as my journey, informs me that Kenyans deserve better. That's why I'm running for office, because I believe I'll bring to the table what Kenyans have never seen. Alternative leadership, a different way of looking at things. And allow me to chuckle a little bit here because, you know, maybe it is time for Kenya to have a blind president. Because these eyes, Catherine, have misled our leaders. Anything they see, they want. I want to be able to hear the cry of that single mother, you know, that widower. I want to be able to hear the voices of the youth. And I think I can do a better job on that than our seeing brothers and sisters.
Well, on that note, talking about good sound.
Yes.
Can I sample some of your music? You brought a guitar with you.
Okay, I was waiting for more broadcast questions. Okay, I brought my guitar here.
Yes.
And are you going to sing along, please?
Well, if you tell me...
Do you know a song that we can sing together?
Well, you pick one, I'll follow you.
Yeah? Okay, so... Bwana ni mchungaji wangu, sitapungukiwa kitu. Hunlaza penye majani mabichi, hunongoza kwa maji matulivu. Hunihuisha nafsi yangu, hunongoza kwa njia za haki. Nipitapo bondeni mwa mauti, sitaogopa, wewe unami. This one I know you know. Hakika wema nazo fadhili zitanifuata mimi. Nitakaa nyumbani mwa Bwana siku zote za maisha yangu. Wow, you liked that one?
Yes, I did. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. Reuben Kigame has been our living legend on Legends Edition this Saturday. Wow. Of course, we have all walked with him. He has helped very many a young talent grow into great sons and daughters of this nation, helping people to grow, worshiping God through wonderful music. Thank you so much for being with us.
It was a pleasure to be with you, and I've always longed to meet you face to face. I'm so glad it happened.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So we'll be back with the rest of the news.